So my name is Yair Maidan, and I am the owner and creator of ChickPeaDX back there. We make Pacific Northwest style falafel, which is a term that I kind of invented to let people know that we were cooking falafel, which kind of is a Middle Eastern dish traditionally, but we weren't trying to be authentic or anything. We were just going to make it with the ingredients that are available here in the region, and kind of our own new take on it. So, we didn't want to name it Israeli or Palestinian or Egyptian or something like that, because those are kind of, people have an idea of what that is, and we wanted them to come in with a clean slate of just like, it's falafel. It's cool, it's tasty, and we kind of do it our own little way. My parents are originally from Argentina, and when I was growing up, we would go every couple of years to visit my grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and it was a tradition to go to this kind of old school restaurant. It's called the Palacio de las Papas Fritas, which basically means the French Fry Palace. And at this restaurant, their signature dish is these they're called pomme soufflé. It's kind of a tricky French fry to make. And, they would tell us kids that it was like some secret or, magic or something with these puffy potatoes. And one year, my grandfather convinced them to, I think he told them that, my grandson likes to cook or something like that. And they took us back to the kitchen, and they showed us the secret, and I think in a way kind of like that made me become a cook in a professional cook, because like the secrets were in the kitchen, and like I got to go back there and see it, and it's like, oh my god, like I don't think I consciously thought like maybe one day I want to do this, but it kind of imprinted it on my memory. And yeah, if I could have those French fries, that'd be pretty cool. I guess what I would say is really, if you have an idea or a passion or something that you want to do, just do it. Start. Like I didn't open this place, from day one. I started doing pop-ups, and then worked our way up into a cart, and then did that for a couple of years, and then we did farmers markets, and then eventually we were able to open this place. Don't feel that you have to do, you have this big idea that maybe seems a little not attainable, but it's a road to get there. And I think if you start walking on the road, one step at a time, however you can, not everybody can just drop what they're doing and dedicate themselves to something, but you can start of the weekends, in your time off, planning, getting things in line so that you can get to where you're trying to go, I guess is what I'm saying. It's just start however you can, and even if it's a small way, one step at a time, and you can hopefully get to where you want to go. Really, for me, I liked working in those types of restaurants because you got to work with the best ingredients and the best people and cook the best food. What I never liked about those places is that they were essentially only for rich people. The restaurant where I did my apprenticeship was at the time, and it might still be, one of the most expensive restaurants in the world. The tasting menu 20 years ago or 15 years ago was like 300 and something euros per person. It wasn't just a nice place where like, you could go on your birthday maybe, or your parents can come because or their friends. I basically wanted to work at a place that your friends could come and eat, and you could feed everybody. And especially for myself, I wanted to have my food be more accessible. Give people, harness a little bit of that training and perfectionism to make something that anybody can come in off the street and buy. Growing up in Israel, me and my cousin had this little like kids cookbook, and we would always be messing up our parents' kitchens trying to cook little dishes that were in that book. And it just kind of progressed from there. Always liked cooking, kind of cooked at home when my mom would let me. And eventually in high school, there were some budget cuts, and they told us that we had to go have a half day, and we were really bummed. So I happened to live really close to the school, and I was playing around with making pizzas at home, and I had the great idea that while my parents were away, I would invite all my friends to my house and have a pizza party on our half days, and that went really well the first time. So it just kind of started being a thing, and I realized that food was a really great way to kind of connect with people. That I'm a little more introverted and not super outgoing, but I could have people over and give them food, and they would enjoy it, and it would be a great kind of easy way to kind of connect with them and make friends and whatnot. And after that, I was a teenager, I needed a job, and the first job that I got was washing dishes at a small little Italian restaurant, and I would have to, in addition to washing dishes, chop parsley and tomatoes, and I did that for a summer. That was interesting, and then I kind of got away from it for a while, and then I was in college. Again, I needed money, and pretty randomly, I was just going to pay my rent in the same parking lot as my landlord was a Mexican restaurant, and I was there with my roommates, and we're like, oh, let's pop into this place, see if they got, they need people. And we did, and I think I was trying to get a job as a server because it's easier and there's more money, but it's not really my forte. And they said, hey, it's Cinco de Mayo in a couple days, and we need cooks. Are you interested in cooking? And I was like, oh yeah, I like cooking. I can probably do this. And then, so my first professional line cooking shift was at Cinco de Mayo at this shady little Mexican restaurant owned by Ruby Tuesdays, and it was quite a baptism by fire. And then, kind of kept doing it at that place, and for a while, eventually college was winding down. I was pretty much done with a degree in history, and didn't really know what to do with that. But I loved cooking, and I was like, my parents were very encouraging. They said, well, you like cooking, why don't you find some sort of cooking school to go to? And I did, and that was previous to senior year. I'd kind of decided that by the end of junior year. And then senior year, I went and I found kind of a more serious restaurant to go work at, and after that, went to school, did my externships, and just started working in primarily really high-end French-influenced restaurants. Eventually, that brought me here to Portland, and I worked all around here, all around town, and with some of the best people here in town. And eventually I had the opportunity to put ChickPeaDX together, and after many steps, we got to be here.